Well, hi. This is Sovereign CEO. We talk about how to set up your own location-independent business so you can be free from your horrible, stupid 9-to-5 job and your horrible quasi-authoritarian, quasi-socialist, high-tax, collapsing Western country, and perhaps move to a less bad country or at least set up an international backup plan and do all these things for very little money. We have a lot to discuss today, and we will even be touching on politics. Yay, you guys love that. I'm so excited. And as usual, when I talk about politics, when I delve into these topics, I do so in context of teaching you how critical this is, that you take care of your own life and your own self, and perhaps your family if you have one, instead of focusing on politics, because there is no political solution. So when I discuss politics, I use this as a model to teach you that there are no political solutions. So today we'll specifically be talking about two things, talking about what is the definition of woke, since I have used that term, and a lot of you have used that term, and I think it's misused, and specific techniques on getting your new business, if you start a new business, to the high income very quickly, because there's lots of different business models and ways you can engage your business, types of niches, types of offerings that work, but it takes a long time to make money. I'd rather you make money quickly so you can quit your job quickly, because that's kind of the objective. So there you go. The algo removes me. Let's see what. I want to spend less time scrolling on my phone as it gives me anxiety. Then stop scrolling. How do I go about working my dating apps? This is Sovereign CEO. No woman questions. How to look like Robert Downey Jr. in 50s. That is Sovereign. Those are Alpha Male 2.0 questions. This is Sovereign CEO. Sovereign CEO. See, I did the effort. Look, Sovereign CEO. Oh, I didn't put the banner, the brand. Hang on, let me activate the little icon. Okay, there we go. There we go. So Sovereign CEO. Sovereign CEO. No lifestyle questions. No woman questions. We're talking about the world. We're talking about business. Talking about 5 flags. Things like that. Cool. All right. You guys talk about Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, like most TV shows, started out great and is now terrible, except when they do the lore episodes like the one last week was very good. But that'll probably be the only really good one of the entire season. All the rest are, they suck now. First 3 seasons were great. Kind of like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones' first 4 seasons were really good. And then you're like, it slowly starts getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. No, we are not going to start with the biz topic first. We're going to start with the political topic first. Sorry. I want to get that out of the way. Why do I think Islam is bullshit? I don't think Islam is bullshit. I think all religions are false societal programming. Do I think I'll convert to Islam? No. Why would I? No. Let's see. How are we doing on the numbers here? Have a little drink of water and we'll get started. The woke left existed in the 90s in college, but they were a tiny minority, while Bill Maher left were the majority. Today, it's the opposite. Correct. And you Trump supporters are now more left. You're all more left, except people like me, except libertarians. So I'll be addressing that too. It's not just the left sucks now. Well, you Trump supporters, you like universal basic income. You like free, quote unquote, government healthcare. You like that stuff. So you like big government. The entire Overton window of the entire Western world has, particularly the United States, has moved to the left. Europe was already pretty left, but the United States and Canada have the entire Overton window. So the baseline has moved to the left for both left-wingers, which become woke, right-wingers become big government Trump supporters, and even, there used to be a lot more libertarians than there were pre-Trump. And, people like Vox Day. So here's the list of people really quick before we get started. The list of people who used to be libertarians and are now big government right-wingers, big government corporatist, nationalists. Vox Day, Alex Jones. People forget Alex Jones was a libertarian 20 years ago. He bashed George W. Bush. Stephen Molyneux. Who else? I had a whole list in my head at one point. These are all used to be, years ago, small government minarchist, or in some cases anarchist libertarians. I'm a minarchist. And now they're big government Trumpies. Wonderful. All right. Woke people's care about yourself and people like you. I will discuss that. We'll discuss that. That is left. There's left and there's woke. Oh, I'll get all the details about this. Why is this important? Because I'll get to why it's important. All right. How are we doing up here? Are we doing good? Should we get started? All right. I'm going to get started with the content. Before I get started, really quick. Matter of fact, I got to configure my screen to do what I'm about to talk about. Hang on. I am right in the middle of closing a business deal that has nothing to do with any of this, one of my other companies, and it's time sensitive. And so it probably won't happen until around 4 p.m. EST. So I don't think it'll happen in the next 2 hours, this live stream, depending on how long this live stream goes. But if it does happen, I'm going to receive an email. So my email's up over here, and I got to watch the email and watch my phone for this particular email. If I get an email, I have to do an e-signature, and it's time sensitive. I got to do it as soon as I get it. So I'll be kind of every once in a while looking over here. And if I get the email, I'll let you know, and we'll take like a 2 or 3 or 4 minute intermission. So if you're live, you can just hang out for a few minutes. I'll be back. If you're watching the video, you can fast forward to see my face again. I don't plan on this happening, but it could. Just give me a warning. The beauty of doing live streams with a guy who owns multiple companies. Well, Caleb, why don't you outsource it? I can't. It has to be my signature. So it's one of those weird things. All right. I'm going to drink water. All right. And as usual, you can put stuff in the comments you want. I will try to multitask as best I can to watch the comments as I'm talking, as I'm watching my email and my fucking phone. Multitasking is very bad. Don't do this. But sometimes it's unavoidable. All right. A while back, I made a post. Where did I make this? On my YouTube community feed about the Barbie movie. And I said that the Barbie movie was woke. And it is, by the specific definition I use for that word. And there were a bunch of people in the comments who have said a lot, which is something that has been said on the internet a lot. And that is by people who are either mid-range or left or woke, because there's a difference between left and woke, I'll discuss. Hey, woke is just a thing that the right throws around that means anything the right doesn't like. That is correct. The right is misusing the word woke, and they are throwing it around too much, and they're actually damaging the word woke the same way that the left has destroyed the word racist. So 20 years ago, if you were called a racist, that was serious stuff. That was a big deal to be called a racist. Now, no one cares. Why? Because the left for 20 years called everybody a racist. Everyone's a racist. Every Trump supporter is a racist. If you voted for Trump, you're racist, including the millions of people who voted for Obama, who then voted for Trump. They're all racists. So now when someone calls someone a racist, you go, they've killed the word racist. And the right, or if you want to call them the anti-SJW Trump supporters, there's no set word. Usually I call them Trump supporters, but then people say, I don't like Trump, but you're still a right-winger. So the right are now doing the same thing with the word woke. And unfortunately, it is true that the right is now throwing this word around when it doesn't apply. And so the left makes a very good point and says, wait a minute, woke doesn't mean that. You guys use it for everything. Another example of this is, sorry, see me multitasking? Look at this stuff. Another example of that is hate speech. What the left is left, because that is a scenario of whatever the left doesn't like. So someone says, I'm against hate speech. I'm for free speech, but I'm against hate speech. Hate speech does indeed mean anything the left said, anything the left hears they don't like, because you can't get an actual definition of hate speech. The left has misused this phrase, just like the right is now using the word woke. Now, does that mean the word woke is bullshit? No, because the word racist used to have a real definition. It was corrupted later. So there is a thing called woke, and it is different than left. Because another thing will happen is people who are left but not woke, they'll hear someone say woke and they'll say, hey man, fuck you, that's an insult, that's shitty. I'm not talking about you, you're left. There's woke and there's left, two different things. And the left correctly starts thinking that woke is an insult because the right is using the word too often. Hang on, I got an email. Hang on a second. Make sure this is something that has to do with Okay, we're good. This might happen a few more times in live stream. Sorry, it's the way it goes. If you have a problem with that, you're welcome for all the free content I don't charge you any money for. So, as usual, I do not do this. When I use words, and if you follow me for a long time, you're well aware that I only use specific words with specific definitions. When I use certain words, I have specific definitions for those words. Certainly, if you've read my book and things like that, or my blog, my books, I should say, you know I do this. So when I use the word woke, and I have, and I will continue to do so, I, unlike the right-wingers, unlike the Trump supporters, have a specific definition for that word. To give you political context, in case you are new to me or don't know me very well, I am not a left. So I am certainly not a left-winger. I have never voted for a Democrat in my entire life. Unlike Donald Trump, I've voted for Democrats most of his adult life. I've never voted for a Democrat in my entire life. I disagree with the left on pretty much every political issue there is. I also think Trump supporters are completely insane. As I've said many times, the left has always been insane. The right went insane about 10, 15 years ago. I think Trump supporters are completely delusional. I think modern day right-wingers are just as bad as the left in terms of size of government, in terms of being irrational. These are people who really thought Donald Trump was going to build a wall in 2016, 2017. And I said, no, he's not, you idiots. Yes, he is. Fuck you. And then he didn't. I said, well, he didn't. Now you're gonna be against Trump now? No, shut up. So I am not a Republican. I am not a right-winger. I disagree with the modern day version of the right on almost every political issue. I do agree more with the paleo-conservative, the old school right, like the Pat Buchanan right, like from 25, 30 years ago. Yeah, I agree with him on some things. I am a minarchist libertarian. That means I'm almost an anarchist. Not quite, but almost. And when I say that, I'm actually honest about this. I don't say I'm a libertarian, then vote for Republicans. That's not a libertarian. So just give you the context. I am not a Trump supporter. I think Donald Trump was one of the worst presidents in my lifetime, and I'm over 50 years old. And I can give the facts and data to support that. I've done YouTube videos about this, okay? He was one of the biggest big government presidents in US/world history, even before the pandemic. So I am not a fan of any of y'all. I think you're all insane, unless you're a real libertarian, and it's maybe less than 1% in the United States and effectively 0% in Europe in terms of people who are real libertarians. Just to give you the context. I don't want you to think that I'm some kind of right-wing Trump supporter person. I'm the opposite. Can't stand Trump. Can't stand Biden. Can't stand everybody. There's a reason I don't live in the United States anymore. There's a reason I now live in Dubai, a country that is not a democracy. There is no voting here, and I love it. There's no bitching about politics here. It's great. So that's my context. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where was I in my notes? Okay. Here is my definition. I'll give you specific examples of when I say the word woke. And this is one of those videos where if in the future someone says woke doesn't mean anything, when I use the word, I'm just going to link back to this video, say just watch this video because here's my definition. Definition of woke, when I say it, is a left-wing viewpoint taken to an insane extreme. Woke does not mean left. You can be left and not woke. Right? You can be left and not woke. Woke is an insane, a left-wing viewpoint. They start left and they go take it to an insane extreme. I'll give you several examples. I'll give you a left-wing view in terms of welfare spending, okay? The left-wing view, not the woke view, the left-wing view, I think, and if you're a left-wing person, a real left-wing person, and you disagree with my statement here, let me know in the chat. The left-wing view is the government should give lots of money, as in trillions of dollars. I do not believe in this. I'm a libertarian. This is what left thinks. To poor people because we need to give them a helping hand, and that's because we care about people and we're compassionate. That is the left-wing view on welfare. Cool? Cool. What is the woke viewpoint on welfare spending? How society should handle poor people. Here's the woke view. Capitalism is evil. Everything bad in the world is caused by capitalism. Therefore, we should abolish capitalism. We should not use capitalism at all. And the government, aka the people, should just own all the corporations and own everything. And then everything will be fine. That is the woke viewpoint. In other words, a left-winger is a capitalist with lots of welfare spending. A woke person is essentially a communist. For example, now maybe that's not the best example. I'll give you some other examples that might be more accurate. God, I don't even want to talk about this, but let's talk about this briefly. Um, transgender people. Let's talk about that. God, here we go. One of these topics that no one can be rational about. It's like Israel and Hamas. No one can think, neither side can view this rationally. Transgender people. What is the left-wing view on transgender people in the United States, at least, or most of the Western world? So the left-wing view, I think, is, and again, if you're a left-wing person, you disagree with this summation of your viewpoint, let me know in chat. I'm happy to correct myself because I have to kind of guess because I'm not left. I'm not right either. Left-wing view is transgender people should have the exact same rights as non-transgender people, cisgender, whatever word you want to use. Okay? No one should make fun of them ever for any reason. The government should pass many laws to protect these people because they are a special class and they should be a protected class. I think that's a decent summation of the left-wing view of transgender people. Okay? What is the woke view of transgender? The woke view is there are 47 genders. And if you say there are only 2 genders, fuck you, you fucking transphobe. You're a piece of shit. You should be banned off social media forever. That's the woke viewpoint. One is left, one is woke. Woke is a left-wing view taken to an insane extreme. Woke is not just anything left. I'll get more specific as we go along. Okay. What's another big one? Okay, race. What is the left-wing view on race in terms of government and race? The left-wing view on race, I think, is the left should pass many laws to ensure that non-whites are treated equally as whites, and in some cases even better than whites. And the reason for that is there are some racist people in the world, and especially in places like the United States, historically, white people were abusive to people who are non-white. So we should pass laws and various things to protect these people. I think that's a decent way of summarizing the left-wing view, okay? What is the woke viewpoint on race? It's a little different. The woke viewpoint on race, what I've mentioned in the past, is every movie that is made, every movie, every TV show that is made, every TV show, it doesn't matter if it's a historical drama, it doesn't matter if it's sci-fi, it doesn't matter if it's police, it doesn't matter if it's a drama, it doesn't matter if it's fantasy, it doesn't fucking matter. Every movie, every TV show, every show produced, and every movie produced, when you have a cast of characters, should be 1/4 white people, 1/4 black people, 1/4 Hispanic people, 1/4 Asian people. The entire cast. Okay? Period, end of story. And ideally, at least one of the main characters should be gay, and it should be overtly obvious as soon as that person walks on the screen the first time that that person is gay. You should turn the camera here and say, I'm gay. Hey, everybody, I'm gay. Okay? Should have that. South Park just did an episode that was making fun of this, but this was the viewpoint for many years. I'll be very specific about this in a minute. Okay? So, and I'm not done with the woke viewpoint. And you fucking horrible racist people, because everybody, when you're woke, everybody's racist. If you say that doesn't make sense. So if you're watching this is true, I'll give you many examples. You're watching a TV show that is about wealthy aristocrats in 1800s London. Then you have 1/4 white people, 1/4 Mexicans, 1/4 Asians, and 1/4 black. Should be the main characters. And if you say, but wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Those were predominantly wealthy people in London. They were all white. If you say that, you're a fucking racist. Fuck you, you fucking racist. You should be banned off social media. No one should ever pay attention to you. You're a fucking piece of shit. If you even say or mention or even question that doesn't make sense, fuck you. That is the woke viewpoint on race. A little different than the left wing. Now, would a left-wing person who's not woke say that? No. Now, here's the side point. The left wing is not bothered by woke. So if you see a show where it's 1/4 white people, 1/4 Mexicans, 1/4 Asian people, 1/4 black people, it doesn't make any sense. A rational person or a Trump supporter who are not rational will go, well, that's bullshit, right? Whereas a left-wing person who's not woke would say, what's the big deal? Oh, that's fine. They're not as bothered by woke stuff. Some left people are bothered, Bill Maher is the celebrity example everyone brings up about a left-wing person who is bothered by woke. Fine. But you get my point. I have mentioned this before. I'll go into more detail about this. I'm not going to go on a big tangent about this, but give you more examples. As many of you know, my genre is fantasy. I like to write fantasy fiction as a hobby because I'm a big nerd. Hang on, I have another email. Is this important to read? It is not. Okay. I'm not going to do this for every email, just the ones that have to do with this business deal I'm waiting for. So fantasy is something I know pretty well. I have an entire bookshelf of books here full of fantasy books. I've read hundreds of fantasy books in my life. I've written 3 novels just for practice, for fun. You'll never read them because they're terrible. Fantasy is something I know a little about. Medieval culture, the Middle Ages. This is something I know a little bit about. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty good at this stuff. Now, before I get into this, in case you are a woke person or heavily left-wing person and you watch this video, you are going to be tempted to call me racist for the observations I'm about to make. If you do that, it's going to be hilarious because my son is black. My son is black. The last girlfriend I had before my wife was Asian. And I don't mean she was Asian born in the West with an American accent. No. She's fresh. She was fresh off the boat, Asian. I don't know. I like to eat right. Like that. Broken English, Asian accent, the whole nine. This is Sovereign CEO. One of my friends, before I left the United States, my main friend was Mexican. So if you want to call me racist, because you're going to be really tempted to do this when I point out facts and data and objectivity about what my observations about these things, just be aware, good luck. My son is black. Have fun with that one. I don't care about race. I never have. I don't give a shit about it. I think when right-wingers talk about it, they sound like maniacs. It doesn't fucking matter 99.9% of the time. Okay, now, plus, shit, I live here in Dubai. I'm location dependent. This is Sovereign CEO. I can live in any city I want in the entire West, the entire free world. I could live anywhere I wanted to. I chose to live in Dubai, one of the most multicultural cities on planet Earth, where white people like me are the minority. I think it's like 22% white people who live in Dubai, and I chose to live here. So good luck calling me a racist, because some of you woke people or left people are going to want to do this. Okay? My black son will think you're very funny. Okay. Fantasy. So fantasy series have a problem. The one I just mentioned. It doesn't matter if you're talking about The Wheel of Time. Horrible show. Ugh. The Witcher. Horrible show. My God. Willow. Horrible show. My God. They're all horrible because everything's horrible now. Rings of the Lord of the Rings. Rings of Power. In every one of those shows, all of them, when you see the cast of characters, they're all, and it doesn't matter if they're humans, elves, dwarves, if they're farmers, it doesn't matter. They live in a city, doesn't matter. They're always, if you watch these shows, it's immediately apparent they're all one-fourth white people, one-fourth Hispanic people, one-fourth black people, one-fourth Asian people, when it makes no sense. So you'll have a little village out in the mountains in a fantasy setting, a Middle Ages based fantasy setting, this little village out in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. And you'll see this village, and all the people in this little village are one-fourth white people, one-fourth Mexicans, one-fourth Asian people, one-fourth black people. You're like, this doesn't make sense. Why would a little village have one? What the fuck? Now, if you had a big city, like in the Conan mythos, a big city where different nations are doing business, then you'd have different races in that city. That would make perfect sense and be very cool. You read the Conan novels, there's a lot of that. But out in the middle of nowhere, makes no sense. Doesn't make, not unless you explain it. Now, if you take the time to explain, this little village is a result of, it's right in the middle of 4 different nations. And 200 years ago, they went to war, and all 4 of these nations all made a treaty. And now these stupid shows going to explain that? No. They're just like, shut the fuck up. This is how it is. And when you watch a show like that, I immediately know this was a show developed in Southern California, because in Los Angeles, that's how it looks. 1/4 white people, 1/4 Mexicans, 1/4, right? So immediately it takes you out of the show. This doesn't make any sense. Also in these shows, all of them, The Witchers, all these shows, doesn't matter. All these, you see this one nation of people called the Yazarians, doesn't matter, right? One nation, and you see these people talk in a room, and they're all 1/4 white people, 1/4 black people, 1/4 Hispanic, and 1/4 Asian. Then you see another nation on the other side of the world, and you see them in a room, and they're all talking, and they're 1/4 white people, 1/4 black people, 1/4 Mexicans, 1/4 Asians. You're like, so all the nations in your world are the exact same? Now notice the initial seasons of Game of Thrones later got horrible, but the initial seasons didn't do this. In the North, you had white people, because that's what happens when you have a people who grow up in the freezing cold North. And then you had Dorne, which was like a Middle Eastern culture. So they had darker skin. They had like Arabic accents, right? And you had across the sea, you had what? Essos, and they looked racially different. That is awesome. It makes perfect sense. Again, you want to call me a racist? Have fun with my white son and okay. So my white son, my black son. I have a white daughter. Long story. Okay. I knew this, and I saw this years ago when Lord of the Rings is a big part of my life. I have about 25 books on that bookshelf right there that have something to do with Lord of the Rings. I've been reading it since I was in 5th grade, so I was 9 years old. Big part of my life, Lord of the Rings. Okay. Know a lot about this. When Amazon announced that they had bought the rights to Lord of the Rings and they're going to spend like $500 million making a Lord of the Rings show, all these Lord of the Rings nerds were like, yay, this will be awesome. Just like the Star Wars nerds. Yay, Disney bought Star Wars. It'll be great. I said, no, it won't. It'll be fucking terrible. I said this 2 years before the show was aired. I said, and I was the only person who said this, the show's going to suck. It's not going to make any sense. They're going to have Mexican elves, and they're going to have black, Chinese dwarves. And guess what? Guess what? I said that 2 years. Guess what? One of the main characters is a Puerto Rican elf, black skin, short, buzz cut hair. There are no Chinese dwarves, but one of the main characters is a black dwarf. Let me explain to you why that doesn't make sense. Okay. And if you have some logic and objectivity, you understand. Why are black people black? My son is black. I know a little bit about this. Why are black people black? Because they came out of Africa or the Caribbean. I'll throw that in there because then Caribbeans get mad. Let's say Africa. Why? Why are they dark? Because it was sunny. The sun makes your skin darker. Now, those of you who know Lord of the Rings, or even in fantasy setting, I'll ask you guys in the comments or in the chat. Where do dwarves in Tolkien's Middle Earth or any fantasy setting, Dungeons and Dragons, doesn't matter, okay? If you're a nerd like me, you know. Where do dwarves live? I'll wait for the chat. Go ahead. Where do dwarves live? I'll wait. This is so stupid. This is what happens when one city, Los Angeles, determines the pop culture for the entire world. Underground, correct. Mines and caves, correct. How can you have black dwarves then? Right. Now, if you're woke, you're screaming at the screen right now calling me a racist. Because I said that doesn't make sense. Not that I'm a racist. Do racists exist? Of course. But the fact that you're woke means by me even bringing up these logical points, you're enraged now. Diggity hole. Right. If you are woke or left, and this is enraging you right now, I will give an example, then I'll move on to the next piece of this. Let's say you saw the latest Black Panther movie, Wakanda movie, okay? But Black Panther, if you don't know what Black Panther is, which you know, it's a superhero movie, and Wakanda is this special city in Africa. It's in Africa with Africans, and it's this high-tech, cool city. Really cool concept. What would happen if you went to the movie theater all excited to watch a Wakanda movie, and 50% of all the main characters in Wakanda were Chinese? You now know what I'm talking about. You'd be like, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on here? And I would immediately turn to you and say, fucking racist. And you'll say, no, it's in Africa. This doesn't make sense. Right, it doesn't make sense. Yes, correct. Now, I've said this before, and I mean this. If they made a fantasy movie, no, Hollywood can't make good movies anymore. So let's say this was pre-2015-ish, okay? And they made a fantasy movie, an original fantasy movie, instead of medieval fantasy, African fantasy. So in the Middle Ages or Egyptian times in Africa, starring 100% black people, I think that'd be fucking awesome. And I would be first in line to see that movie. That'd be really cool. I would love to watch something like that. And if I sat and watched that movie, and I'm ready to watch an African fantasy movie from people from Africa in Middle Ages Africa, And immediately I see 1/4 white people, 1/4 black people, 1/4 Hispanic people, 1/4 Chinese people. I'd be like, what the fuck does this make sense? It's not about racism. It's about what makes sense. Okay. I could go on and on and on. You get my point. So that's what woke means. Woke is not left. You can be left without being woke. I have a lot of people in my life who I love very much who are left. My daughter is left. She's borderline woke. She's not woke, but she's borderline. Billy is left. She's not woke. There's anything left and woke. And when I use the word woke, it is not anything the right says about left that they don't like. And I agree, to wrap this up, I agree that I'm not going to wrap this up quite yet. The right overuses this word. The right is constantly throwing out this word, constantly saying things that are woke that aren't woke. Maybe they're left, and maybe they're a little left, but they're not woke. So I agree with you left-wingers. This is an overused term, but it does have meaning, at least when I say it. A left-wing viewpoint taken to an insane extreme. No, all right. Okay. Now, one more thing. Let's see. I'm going to cover all this about this. Okay, this is the last piece of this. Now, sometimes the left, who is correct in pointing out that the insane right, this irrational Trump right, says woke too often, but they use that disingenuously. So here's a conversation I have seen on the internet last few weeks about the movie The Marvels. Collapse the Western world. Anyway, Marvels. So the right is calling the Marvels woke. And the left, I've seen several people. The last person I saw this was John Campea, big movie YouTuber. But a lot of other people said this. Hey, all these Trump assholes are calling the Marvels woke. How is it woke? It's not. I watched it. I don't think it's woke. How is it woke? And all these left-wingers say, yeah, it's not woke. These right-wingers are assholes. They're just calling everything woke, which is true. They are, and they are assholes. So are you. You're all assholes. You're all insane. But the implication is that The Marvels isn't left-wing at all. It's a perfectly normal movie. Wrong. The Marvels is not woke. That is correct. It's not. But it is left. It's a left-wing movie. Why is it left? Well, there are several characters. Let's go through the characters. There are main protagonists. There are 3 of them. They're all women. Not only women, only one of them is white, another one is black, another one is Pakistani. Okay? Then there's a villain. The villain is a person named Dar-Ben. If you're a comic book nerd like me, you know that Dar-Ben in the comics is a gigantic, muscular man like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is it a man in the movie? No. They made her a girl. Not just a girl, a black woman. They did exactly what South Park is making fun of. They gender and race swapped the villain. So now it's all women. Are there any male characters, main characters in the movie? No. Are there some male supporting characters? Yes. There is Nick Fury and Captain Marvel's husband on that dancing planet. Neither one of these men are white. And these men are used for comic relief. These are not strong male characters. The strong characters are all women. Is that woke? No. These women don't turn to the camera like they do in lots of woke movies, many of which I've talked about, and say, men are stupid. We can do everything better than men, like they do in, for example, Doctor Who all the time. So no, that doesn't happen. So it's not woke, but it is left. So if you're a left wing, you can't deny that there are left-wing movies that aren't woke. And just because they're not woke doesn't mean they aren't left. They are. The Marvels is left. It is not woke. Barbie is woke. Barbie almost damn near turns the camera and says, every problem women have is a patriarchy. Nothing to do with women. 64% of women would prefer a male boss. That has nothing to do with it. It's all men. Men are all assholes. That's why men are holding women down. Women are blameless. That's why it's woke. So when I said Barbie was woke, I was speaking objectively and literally. It is woke. Marvels is not, but it is left. You Trump guys, I'm going to repeat what I've said 10,000 times, you guys, and most of you won't listen. Most of this is going to go in one ear and out the other. You can elect Donald Trump as president and have him be president for life for the rest of your life. He could live eternally, and America will still get more left-wing and more woke every year until it collapses. There is no political solution to this, you Trump psychos. Build your own location-independent business. Quit your stupid 9-to-5 job. Get location-independent. Pay off your debt. Get an international backup plan. Protect yourself if you have children or a wife or a spouse. Protect her and them, or him if you're a woman. Then if you want to go save America and vote for Trump for no fucking reason, go ahead. America will still get more left-wing and more woke every year. Like I did the live stream last week about Matt Walsh over on my other channel saying, we got to fight for reforms to get men. No, there's no political solution to this. As I've said 10,000 times, the window for saving the United States, for turning the United States around, and Canada and Western Europe, well, those are slightly different dates. Let's say United States, was in the mid to late 1990s. I'm sorry, there's no one you can vote for now. I'm sorry. Someone asked on the live stream, I think I did last two live streams I did ago, why do you think, what would Ross Perot have done to save the United States? And I said, it wasn't Ross Perot. It's that Ross Perot was in the mid to early 90s when the United States could have been saved. So just because we're talking about woke, saying, oh, you stupid woke, those woke liberals. Those woke liberals are now in control. The left controls. Let's go through the list again really quick, then I'll move on. All of academia, big tech, mainstream media, Hollywood, movies, TV shows, schools. Great job, right-wingers. The left controls everything, and it's getting more left every year. If you are left and woke, as I've said, you've already won. Just wait, you'll get whatever you want, and then America will collapse. You probably won't want that, but way it goes. Socialism long-term doesn't work. All right, that's it. Okay. Should we answer a few questions? I'll move on to the next topic. Let me check my email. Hang on, I gotta check my email. Oh shit, hang on a second. Hang on. Shit, okay. Perfect time for an intermission. I'm gonna turn off my audio and video for a few minutes. If you're live on live stream, hang out for a minute, go get a cup of coffee, even though I don't drink coffee. If you're watching and recording this, just fast forward to see my face again. I will be back in 2 or 3 minutes. I got to take care of biz. I'll be right back. So hang tight. I'll be right back. How do I mute myself? Boom. So I'm not back yet. I realized there's like fucking 9 documents I got to sign. It's take a little longer than I thought. So just hang tight. I'll be back. I appreciate your patience. I'll be back in a few minutes. Sorry. Got to make the cache. So I don't want to leave you guys hanging too much. So I'm going to keep signing these forms and just kind of hang out with you guys. I'll kind of pop over the comments as I'm signing. I'm like, don't multitask. This is very bad. Do not do what I'm doing right now. This is very, very inappropriate. This is very bad time management, multitask. But sometimes in life, especially when you live, yes, I'm 100%, especially when you live a high complicated, high complexity lifestyle like I do, you got to do this kind of bullshit. About halfway through these forms, and they're pretty stupid, to be honest, but can't tell you what they're for. But let's see. Are there any left movies inherently bad in your opinion? Are left movies inherently bad in your opinion? The woke ones are inherently bad. The left ones, I don't know. No, but the woke ones are, like the Charlie's Angels movie and the Ghostbusters movie, and there are lots of woke movies. You know, the Indiana Jones movie, and where they're talking about, the strong female characters basically look in the camera, talk about how bad capitalism is. You're like, come on, what, really? The last superhero movie, Blue Beetle, was talking about how Batman's a fascist, and so I mean, inherently bad. It's funny how I notice a lot of YouTubers complain about the woke stuff and then buy and review the products. People went and saw the Marvels. Why did you go see the Marvels? Oh my! People are like, I went and saw Marvels. The movie theater was empty. This movie. Why did you go see the fucking movie? Again, I'm on the record about this. I stopped watching movies in 2017. I said I can't do this anymore. I can't give Hollywood my money. This is insanity. So in 2017, I stopped. Star Wars. Let me hang on a second here. Make sure this looks good. Star Wars. I said on my blogs, and I always do what I promise. When The Force Awakens came out, I'll get back to this when I'm done signing. When The Force Awakens came out, I'm clapping PF's cheeks. You need to be appropriate. This is Sovereign CEO. When The Force Awakens came out, right? I said, this is a very well done movie that doesn't make any sense. You're really telling the same story. This doesn't make any sense. And all the Star Wars nerds said, Caleb, you don't understand. See, in the next movie, The Last Jedi, they're going to explain all this. It's all going to you have to wait, Caleb. It's a 3-part series, and they wouldn't just not plan this ahead. I mean, of course they wouldn't do that. So I said, okay, The Last Jedi better explain everything or almost everything that didn't make sense in Force Awakens. Because where the hell did the Empire get the money? Why are they still using 35-year-old fighters? Why does, anyway. And you know what happened with that? I said, if it doesn't, I will never watch a Star Wars movie in the movie theater ever again. If The Last Jedi doesn't explain all this shit, I'm done with Star Wars. What happened Last Jedi? It was even worse. And I listed like 20 on my blogs. It's like 22 things that make sense about Last Jedi. How do you drop bombs when it's space? How do you drop a bomb when it's space? There's no gravity in space. How do you take a floppy rubber boot and you slap it on a guy's head when he's wearing a big helmet and he falls down and knocks out? So, and I've never seen a Star Wars movie since then. I won't. So I don't know why these guys do this. I guess they want to bitch about it. Yeah. James Clavell's Shogun has been a TV show early in the show. Will you watch it? Did you watch the trailer? It's the same thing about Lord of the Rings. Did you watch the trailer? Go watch the trailer for Shogun. Shogun's right there, one of the best novels ever written. Fantastic alpha male novel. Why is this still spinning here? Hurry up, fucker. Go watch the trailer and cry, because that's what James Clavell's. I just pulled up one of James Clavell's books last week. The entire trailer, the main character is Blackthorn, a white man. He's in the trailer for about 4 seconds, and he always has this nervous look on his face. Who gets on the main action? Some woman beating guys up. That doesn't happen in the book, but it'll happen in this show. That's it. So why do you think I'll watch it? No, I will not. Why would I watch it? It's woke or left. I don't know if it's woke. It may not be woke, but it's left. Foundation, one of the best science fiction trilogies ever written. There's a Foundation show. I got about 3 episodes in. Woke as fuck. I can't do it. And it has nothing to do with the show. Everyone's. Yeah, so. How would you approach your child if they turn out as gay or transgender? I'd be fine with it. I don't care. Be fine. As long as they're happy. It's not if they're gay or transgender. Are they happy? If they were unhappy, I wouldn't like that. Shit, I'm about to refresh this page. Hang on. God damn. Session is timed out. What? Log back in here. Sorry. It's either this or I leave the screen blank for a few minutes. So I'd rather do this. So hang on. You're welcome to put more comments in there. Okay. E-sign. I did, fucker. I love bureaucracy. It's my favorite thing in the world, especially as a minarchist libertarian. One of my favorite things is bureaucracy. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm involved in a business that I don't talk about publicly, where there's lots of paperwork. It doesn't exactly adhere to the Alpha 2.0 business model that I teach, but at my income level, you have to kind of start branching out. What do I think about the X-Files? I thought it was pretty good. I didn't love it. I thought it was fine. X-Files was fine. In the 90s was fine. What I didn't like about it is the main plot kind of meandered. That main conspiracy plot. Okay, you better fucking come on, baby. Come on, finish. Let's go. Come on. My internet working? Yeah. My dad really liked X-Files. Shit. Now it's not working. Not working. All right. You know what we have to do here? I may have to cut the, if I can't get this working, I may have to cut this live stream short. I may have to do the other topic some other day because I've got to get this done. And now it's just, okay, wait. Maybe it's just really slow. Oh, cool. It's working. It's just really fucking slow. All right. So far, we're good. I've got 7 more to go. What didn't you like about The Witcher? What I said. Every nation is 1/4 white people, 1/4 Asian people, 1/4 black people, 1/4, including elves. The elves in the forest with the pointy ears. There's Chinese elves, there's black elves, there's white elves. How does that make any sense? The very first episode of The Witcher, and people seem to like the first season and start getting shitty. The very first episode of The Witcher is what? This skinny old queen. She's like in her late 40s. She's like 100 pounds. She's in plate mail armor at the head of her troops, leading her troops into battle. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Now, if you explain she drank a magic potion to make her invulnerable, okay, now I'm with you. No, she's just a strong, independent woman because we made this in Los Angeles. So no, can't do it. I can't, if you're going to be that ridiculous, I can't take your stuff seriously. If you want to make something with strong, independent women and 1/4 of this race and 1/4 that race, base it in a modern American city, please. Don't do a historical fantasy or a historical show, or that doesn't make any sense unless you explain it. I have no problem with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's a god. So I'm down with Wonder Woman kicking people's asses and being super strong. Wonder Woman's awesome. Great character because they explain it. Yeah. What else we got going on here? I'm almost done. How did you devise or where did you stumble upon the business model that you use in your not too public company, speak in general? I can't really talk about that. Various sources. It's a mergers and acquisitions company in the healthcare industry. What do I think about Milei becoming Argentina president? Did he get elected? I haven't been following this. Did he actually get elected? If he got elected, great. Argentina is still going to go bounce up and down the rest of its life. It's not going to change anything permanently. Do you think Trump will become president for life? No, I will not. So if Rings of Power wasn't diverse, would you like it? No. Rings of Power was ridiculous and stupid. Galadriel, Rings of Power didn't follow the books. Galadriel didn't have plate mail armor and fight. Galadriel's married to Celeborn. Galadriel never went to Numenor. In the fucking Rings of Power, she fell off a boat right off the coast of Middle-earth and swam to Numenor. The first few minutes of the Rings of Power, I watched the first episode. I couldn't stand it. I had to turn off. The first few minutes is she's in Valinor. These are not just elves. These are the Noldor. These are the most noble of the elves. And these little boys are throwing, she makes a little boat, and these little elf boys are throwing rocks at the boat and going, I'm like, these aren't elves, these are humans. And then she's a strong, independent woman. So she jumps on and starts, And then her brother says, you know why a rock isn't like a boat? Because one looks down and one looks up. And I'm like, what is this horrible writing? You've butchered Tolkien. Of course. So no, if Rings of Power was 100% white people or 100% Asians or 100% accurate to whatever it is, it would still be awful. I knew, and someone else predicted this. It was Gary with Nerdrotic. 2 years before Rings of Power, he said, watch this. Galadriel is going to wear plate mail armor and lead people into battle. She'll be this badass warrior, which she isn't in the books. And he was right. That's exactly what they did. Is there anything, I'm still signing, sorry. Is there anything you like from Star Wars post-original trilogy? The final third of Rogue One was good. The final third of that movie, the first 2/3 were stupid and ridiculous. Some parts of Revenge of the Sith were okay. Phantom Menace is a terrible movie, but it's a great movie to watch. It's a fun movie to watch. I've talked this, one of my guilty pleasures. It's a really fun movie to watch. It's horrible. Attack of the Clones is awful. So no, I mean, here's what I've said about Star Wars. And Star Wars turns hates when I say this, but I'm right. Star Wars is not a franchise. Star Wars is 2 good movies 40 years ago. Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back were good, but those were 40 fucking years ago. Everything else has been mediocre or shitty. Including, and all these guys say, well, you know, George Lucas needs to come back and redo Star Wars and take it back from Disney. You guys forget how bad the prequels were. Those sucked. They weren't horrible, but, you know. Yes, you're all saved. Hey, that's cool he got elected. But here's the thing about Argentina, as I've talked about many times. Argentina and Brazil are insane. So they'll be libertarian for a while, then they'll be socialist for a while, then they'll be left-wing for a while, then they'll be, you know, conservative Trumpy for a while, and then they'll be communist for a while, up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And you get the feeling from Argentinians and Brazilians, and they admit this, that they kind of like it that way. They kind of like being crazy. Very different than Colombia, whereas you go to Colombia and they're like, yes, we have problems, we're working on it. We want to be better. It's a whole different attitude. And Paraguay would just relax, they don't care. All right, I got 2 more forums to sign. Sorry for the distraction here. Sorry with this. You guys might like this because I'm talking to you guys more. Helping people cover from a PCL ligament tear is a good niche. Yeah. Also, competing with regular location dependent lines is a bad idea. No, it's fine. I used to be a libertarian. Used to be on a libertarian message board. There were a lot of LGBT people. What I noticed with the younger generation now is everyone's thinking the same. Yeah, we have an entire generation of woke people. It's called Gen Z. Gen Z, an entire generation of woke people. Okay, I am done signing these documents. I need to reset one thing. I'll be right back. Hang on. Okay. We're good. I'm all signed. I might have to pay attention to one more email here, but we're good. Appreciate your patience. Best daddy can do. All right. So what are we talking about? We're all talking about Star Wars and woke shit. Why am I talking about these topics? Where do I lead this stuff? Okay, next topic. Making money fast. Really quick, before I get to that. Banner time. Not hammer time. Hammer time. Can't touch this. Black Friday. I am required to do a Black Friday promotion because that's what people on the internet do. So, 90-Day Business Builder, we've decided to do something a little fun. Black Friday is this Friday, right? Right. So, if you sign up for the 90-Day Business Builder program between now and Friday, you schedule your call between now and Friday. Friday night, midnight EST is your deadline for this. Here's what I will do for you for Black Friday only. Those of you who are following my Alpha Male 2.0 stuff, I have another Black Friday thing for you guys. I will talk that's on my, if you're on my mailing list, you've already seen what that is. Can't talk about that here. I will talk about that on Wednesday on my other channel. But for you guys, Starvin CEO, here's what you can do. If you sign up for the 90-day Business Builder this week before Friday midnight, EST. Shit, hang on. I better leave my glasses on. Good, okay. Here's what we'll do. Number one, $500 discount. It is $500 off the price. It's a few $1,000s, tax deductible, and you can make payments. If you sign up by the end of this week, number one, there's several things. Black Friday only, $500 discount. You've got to schedule your call and get signed up end of the week. Cool, cool. Number two, I will throw in addition to all the coaching, all the stuff you got in that program. Once you're in the program, if you sign up by the end of the week for Black Friday, once you're in the program for 30 days, you get two free one-on-one coaching sessions with me. One-on-one. I'm expensive. Doing this for free. Just for Black Friday. You got a few more days. Okay? That's the second thing you get. Third thing you get. We're going to give you 3 courses on top of the courses you already get in the program. You're going to get the How to Outsource, Build Your Team mini course. This was put on by me and Billy. Billy and I got to use correct grammar. On how to outsource people, find people at work, how to hire people, manage people, people who are not employees. An entire course on that. You get my location independent selling mini course, how to do cold calls, how to sell over Zoom, over the phone. I've closed literally millions of dollars in deals remotely as a consultant. How to do that. Third one you get is, hang on, I don't remember. One moment. Where's my spreadsheet? You get 3. Fuck, man, where's my spreadsheet? Did I have it up? That's dumb, Caleb. Should have had that up. Bad boy. Hang on. Oh, wait, I have it on somewhere else. Sorry, I have too many screens open. And then I'm old, so I need this. Build your team. Oh, how to find a niche. How to find a niche mini course. Now we talk a lot of that in the program. How to find your niche. We discuss that a lot. But you get a full mini course on that. So $500 off, 2 free coaching sessions from me once you have been a member for at least 30 days. And we throw in those 3 mini courses. If you schedule your call by the end of this week and sign up by the end of the week. The link is in the thing below, in the description below. Cool, cool. All right. Okay, that's it. All right, let me get to the next topic. Hang on, where's all my notes? Beep, 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 beep. Where are my notes? Hang on. Okay. Hopefully I'll not put those fucking glasses back on. I love getting older as a man, except the eyesight thing. That bothers me. And the weightlifting thing where I tear my tendons. I don't like that either. Other than that, getting older is pretty good. It's a good deal for your guy. Although it's easy for me to say because I live a pretty good life. I'm going to give you several shortcuts to make money in a new business quickly. So here's the thing. There are lots of business models of businesses you could start that are viable, that are good, where you can make millions of dollars or make a lot of money. If that's just too much money, if that's too big a number for your brain in your context, where you can make a lot of money. The problem is it takes a lot of these companies, it takes a long time to get to that income. The third company I have, the M&A business I have in the healthcare industry, that is a perfect example of that kind of business. You make a lot of money at that business, but you got to wait 1 year, 2, 3 years before you make any money. Most people aren't willing to work 1 year or 2 or 3 to make any money, right? Right. Some people are, great. If you have that kind of fortitude, that kind of motivation, if you're already making a lot of money from a job you don't hate, you're not motivated to be location dependent, then by all means, start any business you want and take your sweet time. That's fine. Or if you're like me, you already are location independent. There are a lot of you in that category already. You already are location independent. You already have a business, location independent business that makes good money, and you're starting your second business or your third business. Those can be the more slow burn businesses. Those are okay. But if you're dealing with your first business, in my opinion, in my view, you should start a business where you get to money as quickly as fucking possible. Why is this? Well, hang on. Because what have I said about 5 Flex? It gets harder every year. You live in a collapsing civilization. Every year, your collapsing Western country gets fucking worse. And you can vote for people like Bernie Sanders if you're left, or vote for people like Donald Trump if you're right, till you're fucking blue in the face. It's still going to collapse in your lifetime. There's nothing you can do about this. Okay? Every year it gets worse. You don't have time to fuck around anymore, especially if you live in the collapsing trifecta. United States, Canada, and Europe, particularly Western Europe, a lot of Eastern Europe too. Hello, Putin. So if you live in the collapsing trifecta, I don't in a rush anymore. But if you do, you don't have time to fuck around, in my opinion. Now, those of you who want to stay in the United States for the rest of your life, or Canada the rest of your life, or the UK or Germany the rest of your life, okay, fine. That's your decision. I'm an individualism, almost absolutist. I'm an individualist. Do you, boo. You stay there, and that's fine. But if you don't want to do this, if you want a backup plan, or you want an escape plan, or something like this, or you want to at least diversify internationally, you need money fast. You want to wait 2 years to start making a few $1,000s a month, or whatever your plan is, in my opinion. So, first thing. I've already mentioned this before. I will go to detail about this right now, and then I'll give you some other tips, some other shortcuts, about 7 or 8 shortcuts I'll give you. Can you start a drop shipping business? Sure. Can you start a social media influencer business? Sure. Are these zero to the money fast businesses? No, they're not. Can you write an ebook? Yes, I've written 8. I made a lot of money selling books. A lot. If you want zero to the money quickly, is that a good business plan? No. Can you write if writing an ebook is your business, can you start writing your ebook and make money next month? No, it's going to take you a year to write the damn thing, or 6 months, or 3 months. Hang on a moment. Okay, we're good. I love writing ebooks, but that's not zero to the money fast business. An online course, faster than an ebook. It's better than an ebook. Is that a fast business? It can be. It can be. Depends. So what is the business model or business models that get you from zero to the money the fastest? I'm not saying these are the best business models. I'm not saying these are the most scalable business models. I'm not saying these are perfect business models. By the way, there is no perfect business model. Every business model has pros and cons. That's why I'm not opposed to any business model, as long as you understand the pros and cons. Okay? But these are the 3 business models that get you from zero to the money the fastest, starting from zero in your first business. Sorry, I have to keep looking over there for my email. Sorry about that. There's 3 of them. I'll say them real quick, and I'll describe each one. Coaching, consulting, or service provider. That's it. Coaching, consulting, or service provider. Coaching, what does that mean? One-on-one or one-on small groups, helping individuals solve a problem or improve a condition. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be a business coach. You could be a lifestyle coach, not a life coach. That's not niched. And by the way, all these are micro niche. You can't be a fitness coach. That's not niched. As long as you're fucking niched, you can be any kind of coach you want. You can be a musician coach. You can be, as long as you're niched, you better be fucking niched. There's a guy, my friend Igor and I were talking about this. Igor Kafitz. Some of you have bought his course. He's a good friend of mine. There's a guy online that makes a 6-figure income teaching people how to play one song on the piano. Not teaching people piano. He teaches people how to play one song. One song. That's it. 6-figure income. There is another fucking guy. He's on Reddit. I forget his name. Some of you might have seen this guy. He makes a 7-figure income, $1 million a year, teaching men how to do handstands. All you guys say, I don't know anything. I don't know any business skills. Are those business skills? Handstands and piano? No, but they're niched and they do coaching. So coaching, number 1. Number 2, even more money, but a little more complex. You need a little more confidence. Consulting. Instead of coaching one-on-one, Coaching is you are working with a corporation, a business. I've been doing coaching for almost 30 years, and it's my main source of income for most of my adult life. Made a lot of money doing coaching, consulting, and coaching too, but consulting. I'm a business consultant. What I do. That's how I kind of identify myself. So that's you working with a company or association. Consulting. Consulting, you can make $25,000, $50,000, $82,000 from one customer, one client. We have had people in the Business Builder program within a few weeks start a consulting business and immediately get their first, immediately, like within 3, 4, 5 weeks, get their first client, $5,000. We had another guy. Was it consulting? Let me think. Yeah, it was consulting. He was a bank teller. Got his first client, a few $1,000. Got his second client, $14,000 net in his pocket. Consulting. Second customer. How many other businesses can you make $14,000 from your second customer? Yeah. Consulting is awesome. Third choice, service. That means you're actually doing the work. So when you're consulting or coaching, you're advising. You might be doing some work, but you're mostly advising. You can actually do the work or hire someone to do the work, even better. You can do the work for the customer or client. You can do it for them. Hey, we'll just do it for you. Pay me a flat fee. The margins are lower on services. You make less money in terms of margin, but it's more easily scalable. I just got off a one-on-one consulting coaching, so I'm getting myself all mixed up. I just got off like half an hour before this live stream. A one-on-one coaching call with someone. We were discussing this. He's like, well, you can't scale. Can you scale services? You can scale services more easily because you get to the point where other people perform the service and you just bring in the client, make sure the client's happy, and they do the work. It's harder to scale coaching and consulting. Consulting, it's really hard. Coaching is a little easier. That's the downside of coaching and consulting. You make a lot of money very quickly. It's harder to scale. You can't really sell the business on a sellable asset. That's beyond the scope of this topic. So coaching, consulting, service provider. In the Business Builder program, for example, these are the three models we kind of push people toward because we know we can make the money fast with those instead of writing an ebook. Now, if you want to write an ebook, by all means, write an ebook. That's awesome. As long as it better be fucking niched. It's going to take you some time. So if you're in a hurry for money, probably not the best business model to start. Be a consultant first, then write an ebook. Get some clients, make some cash, quit your fucking job, be location independent, then write an ebook, do some courses, things like that. By the way, that's the model I followed. I started out as a consultant, and I later branched into information products later in my career. And a lot of other consultants have done this. A lot of consultants are in this problem. They become consultants, they do well, they make a shitload of money, but they're doing a lot of work. They're working hard because they're consultants, right? They can't scale. So like, I need other income streams, I have to do it. Then they write books and courses and seminars and things like that, which is pretty much what I did too. I did it kind of a weird way because my books and seminars had nothing to do with business initially, but can't talk about that in this live stream. But you got my point. Okay. All right. Let's see. You combine this with niching. So here's how you make a lot of money fast in terms of, I don't know what to sell. And this is what we teach in Business Builder too. Find a narrow niche, identify their biggest problem or their second biggest problem, help them solve or alleviate that problem. That's it. Those three things, you can make all the money you want. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. If you do those three things, you can make all the money you want. You want to make $1 million a year? You can do that with those three things. You want to make $85,000 a year, location dependent, we talk about here at Sovereign CEO, those three things. Identify a narrow niche. You already know lots of narrow niches yourself. Pick a narrow niche, not doctors. That's not a niche. Not weight loss. That's not a niche. Not crypto. That's not a niche. Niche. Those are industries. Narrow, weird niche. One of my niches. Cardiologists in private practice looking to retire. That's a niche. I don't work with doctors. That's not a niche. Okay? Narrow niche. Identify their biggest problem or second biggest problem. Ask them if you don't know. Ask a few of them. Number 3, help them solve or alleviate that problem. Boom, you're there. That's all you got to do. I know it sounds overly simple, and I'm not saying it's easy. You got to do it. That's it. Hang on. We're good. You combine niching with coaching, consulting, service provider. You're there. You're there. Location independent. Throw that in there. I got to throw that in there. Location independent. You cannot have a business. We have to physically be located in that city. Are you insane? No. If this was the 50s and you could spend the rest of your life in the United States, Canada, Europe, that's fine. Not anymore. You can get the fuck out of there. Or at least if you want to stay there, have the option of leaving whenever you want. I live in Dubai. Love Dubai. But I have 4 backup plans in addition to Dubai in case anything bad happens in Dubai down the road. I don't plan anything bad happening, but Dubai over time will start raising their taxes like every other goddamn country. And so they start raising taxes 10 years down the road. I just go, no problem. I'll go to Paraguay. I'll go to Armenia. If America has a collapse it, maybe I'll go to Mexico. I have lots of other options, but I'm mobile because I'm location dependent. I'm not reliant on where I live to generate my income. Critical. That's not about money fast. That's about lifestyle, long-term happiness. Okay. Okay. Now, there are 2 shortcuts you can use. And I talk about this business builder. There are 2 shortcuts you can use if you don't want to work hard to identify their problem. Okay. Here are the 2 shortcuts. Shortcut number 1, help them get more customers. That's it. That's it. Most niches, not all, cover that in a second, want more business. More customers, patients, clients, depending on the type of company. More customers, clients, patients. Marketing companies, sales, whatever you want to do. And you have to do the work. Hire someone on Upwork to run ads or whatever, and then work with these people. Ty Lopez talks about this all the time. Find someone who has high margin business like, plastic surgeons. Hire someone on Upwork to run ads for them in their local city and just show them how to, and then be their marketing wing. That's very easy. Now, the trick is you have to have a niche that wants more customers, clients, patients. But everyone wants more customers, Caleb. Bullshit. There are many niches. We talked about this in the last Business Builder program, a session we had on Saturday. There are some niches that don't want more business. I come from one. On-site IT consultants. That was my first consulting gig, and I had a company that sold them. A lot of them don't want more customers. You call up, you say, you want more business? A lot of them go, fuck no, I don't want more clients. Fuck clients. So that would not be a good niche. Okay? But as long as you know the niche wants more customers, help them get more customers. Number 1. Number 2, recruiting. Recruiting is a huge margin business. You help someone hire a good employee, you get like 25% of their salary. You help someone find like engineers who do like $120,000 a year. You put like $30,000 in your pocket from one placement. You do that several times a year, you're happy. Recruiting is awesome. And almost, not all niches, but most niches need to find of bigger companies now. Okay. Companies over 100 employees, over 50 employees, whatever. Okay. 200 employees plus, medium-sized businesses or big, small businesses. They need help finding people, and they will happily help hire recruiters. I work with a lot of recruiters. They make big money and they don't work that hard. Pretty good. Layla Hermosi, this is a story Alex Hermosi talks about, right? He went to his wife and said, what business would you start if you could start any business? She's like, recruiting. And they did. She's right. Big money, as long as you're niched. You better be niched. Not recruiting for hospitals. That's not niched. Niche recruiting, just as good as marketing. That's fine. It's another shortcut. Again, you got to deal with bigger companies. You don't want to talk to companies with 10 employees. They can't afford to, they don't want a recruiter, right? Bigger companies. Cool. Just talked to a guy the other day. Doing very well recruiting. Niche recruiting. We had another guy in our 500K program. Niche recruiting, doing very well. Awesome. Location independent, totally mobile, awesome business. So that's another good one. Fastest way to get customers. There are 2 fastest way to get customers. Now, I'm not saying these are the best way to get customers, because some of this can be a little stressful. But these are the fastest way to get customers. What's the fastest way to get a new customer? Is it run YouTube ads? I run YouTube ads. It's great. Good way to make money. But is it the fastest way to get a customer? No. It's the fastest way to get a customer. Get on the phone and call people. Cold calls. But I don't want to do cold calls. Okay, don't. But that is the fastest way to get a customer. I've told this story many times. When I first started my first business, way back in 1996, when I was 24 years old, no college degree, no high school diploma, pretty much no people skills. Little young dumb fuck. How did I start my business? I made a list of everyone I knew. I sat down on a piece of paper. I did it on paper because I had a computer, but did on panel. I did paper. Paper, 120 names. I figured out their phone numbers. I called the people, got other numbers, and we didn't have Facebook back then. Today it's easy with LinkedIn and Facebook. It's so much fucking easier now. You can do DMs on LinkedIn. And I got on the phone and I was scared. And I called the number and I was all shaking. Hi, it's Caleb. So I help people with their computers. Do you know? I talk like Bill Gates. Do you know if I could help anybody? Do you know how even to help? But terrible. I got business. I made money. How many people need to say, again, when you're consulting, high margin, you only need a few customers to make a lot of money. So out of the 120 phone calls, I got, I think, 3 clients. That's a lot of money for me. It worked. And it wasn't them. It's like, I don't need the bit. But you could tell Joe, Joe might be looking for, Joe was complaining the day his computers didn't work. Oh, do you have his number? Yeah. And I called Joe. Hi, Joe. I just talked to Larry, and Larry said I should call you. Was it fun? No, but it works. Here's the other advantage of cold calls. They're free. You can be poor as fuck and make those phone calls. There you go. Pretty cool. All right. Yeah, it's Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog / Bill Gates. Last thing, another fast way to get to lots of customers, I've talked about this before, is joint ventures. Now, this is more complicated, and it is a form of cold call. Instead of cold calling people who could hire you or use your product services or whatever, services I should say, you talk to other people, other business owners in the niche who sell to your niche a non-competing product than yours. And you say, hey, business owner in the same niche, I love you. We're in the same niche. We sell the same niche, but I sell something totally different than you that could benefit your customers. How about you tell your customers about me and I'll pay you 40%, 50%, 20%, 70%, depending what your margins are. I've done this many times since the 1990s. I've done this on the internet. I've done this in real life. Works great. Now, the problem is you got to call a lot of people because most people say, who the fuck are you? Well, I'm new. Have you ever done this for it? No. Well, fuck you, click. They're not going to say fuck you, click. They'll be much nicer than that, but they'll say no because they don't know who the hell you are. But again, you make 100 phone calls. You get 2 people to say yes. One person who says yes to a JV, a lot of new business for you. One person who says yes. So you do normal cold calls. One person who says yes is 1 new customer. You do JV cold calls. One person who says yes could mean 10, 20, 30 new customers or clients. Big money. The first time I ever did this, when I was a computer consultant, guy in his mid-20s, didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was an on-site networking consultant. So I did servers and workstations and shit. Okay. I did a JV with a woman who was a bookkeeping software consultant. So this is before QuickBooks. I mean, they had QuickBooks in the 90s, but it was, everyone used different things. So she was an expert at like 6 or 7 different bookkeeping software packages by small companies, and was the same exact niche. Small businesses. We built small businesses in the local Portland area. This is back when Portland was wonderful. It was a beautiful city. Collapse in Western world. And she referred business to me. I made $200,000 over the next, let's see, what was the number? $230,000 from her referrals over the next 2 years. From just one person saying, yeah, I'll do that. Awesome. I said, okay, this works. I'm going to do this a lot. Jay Abraham talks all about this. You've read Jay Abraham's books or seen his videos and things like that? Yeah. Okay. That's it. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. Not bad. I can hang out for a little bit. I still got to deal with this bullshit over here. I'll be very happy when this is done. Talk about money. I'll be very happy when this is done. Anyway, but I'll answer a few questions. What caused libertarians to lose their minds and become big government Trump supporters? I don't have an answer to that question. I would love to, this will never happen because I won't get correct answers. I would love to have someone like Vox Day or Stefan Molyneux, both guys I used to really like. Vox Day had the best blog on the internet in the early 2000s when he was a libertarian. And I would love to have a chat with them and say, why did you, but they'll say, because we need to protect America. They would they'd get irrational. Give them like some sodium pentothal, get them drunk maybe, and then ask, hey, can you explain to me, Stefan Molyneux, why you said you were for wide open borders and suddenly you said, we got to build a wall? Why? What was the change? You get the real answer. I'm sure it comes out of emotional. Well, I was scared for America or so. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know. So I don't really answer that question. Don't know. Is mafia gang members who retired a good niche? Sure. I guess that's a niche. Yeah. Now you got to find out what is their problem. You're gonna do witness protection. What are you gonna do? You're gonna attach a problem to that. So. Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Is Mexico also in collapse? No, Mexico is actually doing reasonably well. However, Mexico is a gray area. Mexico is actually doing well because of all the shit going on in China right now. A lot of these Western companies are outsourcing their shit to Mexico instead of China. And Mexico has a lot of oil. So, however, what is Mexico's biggest influx of money? The United States, which is collapsing, and it's going to collapse in our lifetimes. So the question is, how will Mexico do when America collapses? Canada will be fucked. Canada's fucked. So Canada, goodbye. Kiss Canada's ass goodbye. Sorry, Canada. But you kind of deserve it, just like America deserve it. Talk about woke. Mexico's an I don't have a solid answer to that question. How will Mexico do when America collapses? Will it do terrible? Will it collapse? Will it do okay? Will it do bad for a while and then recover? I don't know. Don't know. 50-50? I don't know. So. Hi, Caleb. Doug from Detroit. I'll be in Dubai the first week of December. I'd love to buy you lunch if you're available. I am never available. I'm sorry. Unless you want to pay me money. And I'm not being an asshole. I have to do this. I have to be very careful about my time, especially with things going on right now, transitions in my companies. I don't have any free time. Unless you want to, I don't think you want to pay me money to take you to lunch or take me to lunch. That'd be insulting. So no, I'm sorry. I don't. People will also run from the USA to Mexico to ruin it. Well, that's what's going to be really funny. What was that movie? Day After Tomorrow, or that Roland Emmerich movie about global warming, and it was stupid because the main characters were running away from the ice. The ice was chasing them. But anyway, there was a scene in that movie where a whole bunch of Americans were going to Mexico, escaping from America to Mexico. You're going to see that happen in real life. You want to hear a prediction that you'll hate, but I'm going to be right? In our lifetimes, you will see a mass exodus of Americans going to Mexico. It's starting to happen now. I did a whole video in Mexico about how Mexico is safe. The number of Americans moving to Mexico has skyrocketed since 2017, even before the pandemic. It's going to keep going up as America gets worse and as Mexico does better. Mexico's doing better every year. It's going to be hilarious. You'll see whoever the Mexican president is with a big cigar going, oh, okay. Oh, it's going to be great. Do I need CompTIA certifications in order to consult IT or cybersecurity? No, you do not. I had a CompTIA certification. I way back in the 90s, because I was stupid. I had an A+ certification. Is that CompTIA? I think so. It's useless. Certifications are only for people who want to be better employees. If you want to be an employee the rest of your life, you want to make more money as an employee, go get some certifications. You want to be a consultant? No one cares. No one has ever asked me, what certifications do you have as a consultant? They don't care. You know what they care about? Can you help me fix my fucking problem? That's all they care about. They don't care. So the answer is no. Should you not go there then? You do it if you want. I'll do one or two more questions. And I got to go. Black Friday, 90-day business builder. 2 coaching sessions with me. $500 discount, 3 mini courses. You got to sign up by end of day Friday. This is only for Black Friday. I ain't doing this again. I don't like dropping prices. That comes out of my margins. And daddy likes his margins because how he teaches margin. Yeah. Let's see here. So we good? I'll wait 15 seconds. I know sometimes there's a delay between when you type the comment and when I see it. Stop using woke when it doesn't apply, you fucking Trump assholes. To stop that. You're going to ruin the word. Maybe you want to ruin the word. I don't know. Maybe you want to ruin the word. I mean, the left ruined racist. You're going to ruin woke because you're going to call everything woke, and it's not. There is a lot of woke shit. A lot of woke shit. I've called it out. Some of it. But not all that is left is woke. What's the Gandalf quote? We're talking about Lord of the Rings, right? Not all who wander are lost. The Gandalf quote talk about Strider. Not all that is left is woke. Left still sucks. But modern day right sucks. Now, you all want to spend trillions of dollars you don't have. Okay, questions here. What are your thoughts on Russell Brand? He is an honest socialist. I don't agree with him politically, but he's honest. He's an honest actor. I did one video of him talking about these horrible billionaires going into space and talk about why that's silly. You can watch that video. But I like him. I don't agree with him politically, but he is an honest actor. Bill Maher is another honest left-winger. I like left-wingers that are honest. Another good left-winger who is honest, or I like, is that little journalist guy who lives in Brazil. He's gay. What's his name? He has a husband because he talks about a husband in Brazil. It's on my tongue. He's really good. He's a journalist. What's his name? Shit, he's so good. He's very, very left. He's a great guy. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the chat. I picture his face right now. He's the guy that worked with like Snowden and those guys. Anyway, I forget. Thank you, Glenn Greenwald. He's awesome. Left winger, but he's an awesome guy. As long as you are honest about your opinions, unlike Matt Walsh, the live stream last week where he's not honest, as long as you're honest and if you disagree with me, great. I have respect for people who say, fuck capitalism, I'm a communist. I have respect for this. I don't agree with you, but I have respect because most people won't say that. Most communists say, oh, I'm not a communist. Oh, no, I believe in capitalism. You see this with gun control, with left-wingers and gun control. Oh, I don't want to take your guns away. I don't know for that. I just want common sense gun control. And then you ask me a few questions and start talking to them for 5 minutes. I've been to this conversation many times. People on the internet in real life, because I come from Portland, Oregon, where everyone's left-winger. You get into 5 minutes, Tim, they start saying, well, yeah. So I say, wait a minute, you do want to take people's guns away. And they go, you know what? Yeah. Fuck yeah. I want to take, you don't need a fucking gun. Why do you need guns? Why do we have police? Okay, you just said 10 minutes ago you're not for taking people's guns. So you're a liar. So yeah, so if you're not honest, that's the problem I have. It's not that you're left or right or Trump or not. Be honest. All these Trump guys said, build a wall, build a wall. He's going to build a wall, build a wall. They were lying. They didn't give a fuck if Trump built a wall. Except Ann Coulter. Good for her for having some integrity. Other than Ann Coulter, no Trump supporter gave a fuck in 2016, 2017, whether or not he was going to build a wall. Even though they said that's all they wanted. You don't give a fuck. You were lying. So just be honest. Yeah, I'm good with it. Caleb, as much as I fly, I still have flight anxiety. What's your suggestion to deal with this? Billy had that problem. When I bring Billy on at some point, I should talk to her about that. There are a number of techniques. I don't remember any of them because I don't have that problem. What's that therapy? ADMR? ASMR? Not ASMR. What's that therapy where they do binaural beats? That has helped people. I know that. I don't remember the name. Wish I could give you a better answer. How did you conclude the mid-90s with the port of no return? So I don't know if it's a mid-90s, somewhere maybe late 90s. When you say that the chance the West has passed, now it's inevitable collapse. What could have been done? Culturally and fiscally. That's a very long answer. I could do a whole hour on that. Maybe I will at some point. Culturally, you could have turned things around because it wasn't too far gone. It wasn't woke and socialist, where socialism was a happy word. Single mothers, all that stuff. That hadn't happened. You could have turned that around. Fiscally. You could have kept spending low. You could have cut spending. You can't, it doesn't matter what you do now. Thanks to people like Trump and Obama, you're, 30 trillion in debt plus 120 trillion in unfunded liabilities. You're fucked no matter what you do now. So you could have managed the finances better and managed the culture better in the 90s. Once you hit 9/11, the war in Iraq, George W. Bush, you're fucked. Because what happened with 9/11, George W. Bush? You had all these. Hang on. George W. Bush in 2003-ish, He skyrocketed federal spending, and 82% of his skyrocketed spending had nothing to do with the war in Iraq and war on terror. It was just socialism. And all these right-wingers and conservatives who are supposedly for small government said, yay, what a great president. I said, you're fucked. So that's it in a nutshell. Are you spending Christmas with PF in Dubai or going back to the US? I am spending Christmas in Portland with Pink Firefly and my family. She is still in Scottsdale, Arizona. So she's going to meet me in Portland. We're going to spend Christmas in Portland together, her and me and my family. You may have already mentioned how curious how you balance family holidays in your career. I don't do holidays. I'm not doing anything for Thanksgiving. I'm alone here in Dubai for Thanksgiving. Good. So I'm just going to work during Thanksgiving because they don't have Thanksgiving in Dubai. Pink Firefly are going to have a Zoom call for Thanksgiving for a few hours. That's it. I'm going back to work, baby. I don't like holidays. I want to work. I love Christmas. I kind of like Easter a little bit, even though I'm not a Christian because I was raised Catholic. So but I love Christmas. So I've mentioned next year I'm going to Europe for Christmas for like a week in a snowy cabin in Austria or Switzerland. That'll be awesome. What's your opinion of Scott Adams? You've arrested multiple times in the past. Well, then you know my opinion of him. He is an example of a very high intelligent, low rational person. Very smart, low rationality. He knew, I don't want to talk about it. That's an Alpha 2.0 topic. Ask me on the Alpha 2.0 stream. Kyle Kalinske. He's honest. He's not Glenn Greenwald, but he is honest. He's an honest left-winger. I respect Kyle Kalinske. Don't agree with him, but I respect him. He's not full of shit. I'd like to outsource software developers to my Eastern European clients. Retail and distribution companies working with developers. One of my flags, Armenia. Do you think it's a good niche? Outsource software development to my Eastern clients. I don't quite understand it. Why would you outsource it to your clients? Working developers. Retail and distribution is not a niche. So I think I know what you're saying. Retail and distribution is not a niche. You need to be more narrow. Already signed up for Business Builder in January. Is it possible to get the 2 free coaching sessions with you? If I say yes to you, I have to say yes to 47 other people. So I don't know how to handle that. I don't know. Maybe we can do a group session with you guys. I'll try to come up with something. I will give you guys who sign up for a 90-day Business Builder those 3 courses. I'll give those to you. Done. That's yours. Coaching, I don't know. Because if I say yes to you, I got to say yes to a lot of people, and that's expensive for me. So I'll figure something out. You have a gun. Jimmy's got a gun. He's on the run. That's Def Leppard. When do you think your new blog site will be available around EST? Blog site will be available around EST. I'm working on it right now. Hopefully this week. I wanted to get it done last week. I'm a little busy. Hopefully this week. What's the difference between socialism and communism? The dictionary definition of socialism is that socialism is where government owns means of manufacturing, but you could still start your own little consulting business in a socialist country. The modern day version of socialism, which they call Western European style socialism, would be like massive welfare state like Sweden, Norway, Scandinavia. That's what most right-wingers in America call socialism. Massive welfare state where the government just hands out free money like candy and everyone can take 6 months off. Communism is you can't start your own business. Everything is owned by the government, owned by the people. There is no private property. There's no private companies. You can't start your own business in a truly communist country. That's why China isn't communist. They say it is. Any updates on the new Church of Unchained Man? I'm working on it every week. Every week I'm working on it. Do I buy gifts for the holidays? Only for my wife. That's it. How many nonfiction books you say I've read so far? I lost track of the number. I used to track it. Many hundreds. I'm well past, I think, 500? I think 400? I don't remember. Many. Your chin liposuction surgery results look great. Did you ever do a follow-up video on that? I think I did, didn't I? I think so. I think I did. Yeah. Wait, the blog returns? Yes, I've said this 10,000 times. The blog is returning this week. I will make money from it. You can pay to ask questions. You can write in a question and pay a small fee, and I will do an entire blog article on your question. There will be an Alpha Male 2.0 blog and a Sovereign CEO blog. They're pretty much ready. I just have to a few more little tweaks, and we're good. I thought you suggested we drop blogging. I never said drop blogging. I never said that. It doesn't make money fast, but it's a one drip income. It's a drip model. I meant hiring developers in Armenia for European clients' projects and get margin on each project, doing all the management. Great idea. Find a narrow niche. All right, last question. Did you tell our parents they get coal? You don't need to buy, this is my asshole Caleb INTJ opinion. You don't need to buy your parents Christmas presents. They're adults. In my opinion, Christmas is for children. The gift buying aspect of it. Okay. So I will buy gifts for my wife because, okay, she's my wife. Other than that, I might, send my kids a card as a little money or something. I don't need anyone to buy me gifts. I own everything I want. What could you possibly buy me? I'll go, oh my God, this is awesome. Nothing. So I tell my own wife, don't buy me anything, sweetie. I'm good. You don't buy me gifts. You want to give me something? Give me $1 million. Can you give me $1 million? No, well, then don't buy me anything. Keep your money. Fine. It's all good. All right. I'm going to go. Those of you who want to catch up with me on the Alpha 2.0, Alpha Male 2.0 channel, I will be back on Wednesday at the same bat time, same bat channel. And 90 Day Business Builder, Black Friday edition. And for you Alpha Male 2.0s, I have something else, another Black Friday thing for you guys. If you're on my mailing list, you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, see me on Wednesday when I come back on my other channel. Cool? Cool. All right. Have fun.